Hey, how's it going? Kenny here and welcome back to another tactic testing video. And up in today's video, I'll be testing the tactic pound for volts with three different Premier League teams, Tottenham, Newcastle and Everton. So I chose this tactic today to test out because it's a very interesting tactic in my opinion. Obviously you've got a three at the back system, which you don't see too much of. It's definitely not rare, but it's definitely not common either. And also the fact that we've got a lower defensive line here, partnered with a high press. Two things you do not put with each other at all in FootballManager, to be honest. Well, some people might. Someone obviously has. But lower defensive line and high press together, I was very intrigued about that. Also got two centre midfielders and attack in there as well. It's just a very, very interesting tactic. A little bit all over the place, but hopefully get some good results. As I always say, though, this is not my creation. I have not created this tactic. If you're interested in checking out the guy's page, then there's a link in the description below there where you can follow it straight to his page there. So it's got a balanced mentality as well. Again, another thing in the instructions here in possession, you've got to be more disciplined along with run at defence, higher tempo, shorter passing. In transition is it's fairly common what you see in most tactics, to be honest. Counter press and counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. It's very, very common in my opinion. But as I said, out of possession, the lower defensive line with a high press, how that'll work together, I'm not entirely sure. So I've got three teams to test out of today. I've got Tottenham, as you can see here. Also Newcastle and Everton. I'm going to play a season with all three. I'm going to go on holiday, select use current match tactics. First of all, let's see how Tottenham do. Will it be a massive success for them or not? Let's find out. Well, I chose Tottenham first of all because the guy tested Tottenham in his tactic test there with the same tactic. So I thought I'd do Tottenham as well. And well, it's been quite a successful season for Tottenham. They didn't quite win the league, but they came very, very close. Third in the league with 81 points. Only 2 points behind Liverpool in second place. And only 4 points behind Man City in first place. And they drew 2 of the last 3 games there. So, well, they were on those 2 games. They still would have won the league due to their goal difference. So they came very, very close. And yeah, third in the league with Tottenham is nothing to shout about too much. But the way they've done that, 81 points there. 16 points clear of Man United in 5th place. Just short of winning the title. I think that's a very good season in the Premier League. First season with Tottenham there. So that's great. Harry Kane, top goal scorer, 25 goals. That's not too much of a surprise, is it? In terms of the Champions League, they got knocked out in the quarterfinal by Atletico Madrid. FA Cup got knocked down in the semi-final by Man City. And their Carabao Cup got knocked down in the semi-final by Liverpool. So they went far in every single competition. Obviously, the bad news is Tottenham continue not to win a title or any sort of trophy, which is disappointing, of course. But they did have a good run in every single competition. Would have been nice if they got to a final at least or something. But all in all, I'd say this is quite a good season. I think it would have been a great season if they won an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, of course. Got a bit further in the Champions League, maybe. But all in all, it's your first season with this tactic. It seems pretty good in my opinion. Well, let's check out the league table in full here. The first thing I've mentioned is Harry Kane has finished the second top goal scorer in the league with 25 goals. But Erling Haaland has scored exactly double the amount of goals as him. So what on earth can Kane do? That is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Erling Haaland with 50 goals. Next bet's Kane with 25 goals. Could that happen in real life? Probably not. Probably not. He's probably going to get about 40 goals, though. But whether he'll get double the amount as the second best top goal scorer is debatable. Harry Kane as well. Second in the average rate with 7.3. And Kulusevski there with the second most assists with 11. So that's nice. Check out Tottenham's home record first of all. They lost one home game all season. They lost to home to Wolves 1-0, which is disappointing. They also drew 3 home games at home to West Ham, Liverpool and Fulham. So that could be where they won the title, to be honest. They beat West Ham, Fulham and Wolves at home. They'd won the title right now, so that is really disappointing. What about away from home? Away from home, good record. 9 wins, 6 draws and 4 losses. Lost away to Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal and Man United. All quite comfortably as well. So that is certainly something to look at going forward with this tactic. Away from home to the big clubs just seem to get battered. So that is definitely not ideal. Anyway, let's check out the... well, how many goals they scored first of all? They scored 80 goals, Tottenham, which is good. Nothing sensational, but it's definitely good. 43 goals conceded as well. A little bit on the high side, I'd say, but not too much. And you take into consideration those 4 losses they just had. Other than that, the defence seems pretty good, to be honest. So just slight tweaks in certain games. You can see there, total goals conceded, 7 to Liverpool, 6 to Arsenal, 5 to Man United. Next best team is 3. So against the rest of the teams, even Man City, defended quite well. But in certain games, they got opened up. But all in all, the attack was quite good. Well, yeah, I'd say the attack was very good, actually. And the defence was fairly good. So all in all, it's gone quite well, to be honest, in terms of the league. Let's check out the results here, then. How did they start off the season with this tactic? Well, not too well. They lost the first game of the season, away to Man United 3-1. Not that it's a hard game, though, so nothing to be embarrassed about. And then won the next 3 games. Drew at home to Fulham, though, which is disappointing. Lost to home to Wolves early on in the season as well. Drew at home to Fulham early on in the season as well. So they had a real slight blip at the start of the season there, which is annoying. They seem to have quite a good run before the World Cup though. Lots of wins going on there, and not too many losses either. Lost away to Club Brugge in the Champions League group stage. Lost away to Frankfurt in the Champions League group stage as well, but obviously they got through the Champions League. After the World Cup finished as well, things were going quite well to be honest, but then they played Arsenal away from home in a massive North London derby, and they got battered 5-1. That certainly would not be nice for them. And after that, they lost away to Liverpool 4-2 in a Carabao Cup semi-final first leg, so that's annoying. Good month for February though. Great month actually. Beat Chelsea 2-0 away, beat Dortmund 3-0 at home in the Champions League as well, beat Bournemouth 4-0. They also beat Man United 6-2 at home, which is a great win. Lost away Liverpool 4-0 of course. And in the month of April as well, they got knocked out of the Champions League at Atletico Madrid. They beat them 1-0 at home in the first leg, but in the second leg, they lost 3-0 away, which is really disappointing. Lost the FA Cup semi-final to Man City 1-0 as well. Had a decent end to the season, but dropped points against Wolves and West Ham as well. So all in all, looking at Tottenham's season here, looking at their results, it just looks like a good season. Nothing more than good. So in my opinion, I'd say this has been a success with Tottenham. That's my personal opinion. I wouldn't say it's been a roaring success. It wasn't anything that blew my mind, but it's definitely been successful and definitely something they can work with. Let's check out the players here as well. Well, Harry Kane with 36 goals in 44 games in the season. Only 5 assists though. I'm a little bit surprised about that. Obviously, he's playing as an advanced forward. We're used to seeing Harry Kane dropping very deep, so that probably has something to do with it. But 36 goals in 44 games, you cannot complain at that. Kulusevski as well with a great season there. 16 goals and 15 assists. Nice. Basuma, 8 goals and 11 assists, very good. Heung-min Son with 21 goals and 15 assists as well. So going forward, look very, very good. What the defence though? Højbjerg, 6 goals and 4 assists. Richarlison as well, 16 goals and 6 assists, mainly as a bench player. Well, the defence didn't do too well, to be honest. The centre-back's average rating, no higher than the mid 6.8, so that's something that certainly can be worked with. But all in all, as I said, been quite successful with Tottenham. Nothing to blow my mind, but third in the league, very close to winning the title, and very close to winning the other competitions as well. Did great runs in the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. Anyway, let's check out the next team in the list. Let's check out Newcastle. Well, Newcastle have an absolute blinding season in real life. They might just miss out on the Champions League now, but still a sensational season, especially what we've been used to in Newcastle in recent times. But they are one of the richest clubs in the world now, so got to get used to that, really, haven't we? With Newcastle, I'm a little bit concerned because Newcastle, I think, have got a pretty good first 11, but I think the team in the whole is rather weak, to be honest. A couple of injuries in this team, and I think it can go all out the window. So I'm not sure how it's going to happen with Newcastle. Obviously, they're not as good in FootballManager as they are in real life currently, so I'm not expecting anything sensational from Newcastle. I think a top half finish will be quite decent. Maybe push for the Europa League, Europa Conference League places. You know, maybe a 7th or 8th place would be quite a successful season, but I'm a little bit worried about Newcastle. But anyway, without further ado, going to go on holiday again, select use current match tactics, and let's see how they get on. Before we get started with Newcastle results, please remember, guys, that if you like this video, hit that like button for me. It really helps this video see more people. And also, if you're new around here, do consider hitting that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out, and you much appreciate as well. So I don't think Newcastle have done too well, to be honest. Yeah, they haven't. They finished 11th in the league, but look at this. This is absolutely disgusting. I've never seen anything so ridiculous in all my life, to be honest. There's only 4 points between Crystal Palace in 14th and Tottenham in 7th. 4 points between 14th and 7th. And also, there's only 9 points between Crystal Palace in 14th and Brighton in 4th. So, what on earth has happened in this season of FootballManager? Is absolutely, it's more like the Championship, even more crazier than the Championship. Never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. Man City have just absolutely smashed the league, 97 points. Liverpool absolutely smashed second place, and after that, it's just basically a free-for-all. No one wanted that Champions League place. Arsenal just got over the line. Brighton just snuck in there. Aston Villa in 5th place as well. Bournemouth up in 8th. Brentford in 13th. Palace 14th. We just have no idea what's gone on this season, to be honest with you. So Newcastle finished in 11th place, but just 7 more points, and they could have finished 4th in the league. So make of that as you will, to be honest. I'm going to say it's not been very successful because they've won 15 games and lost 15 games. So that's not really something that can be shouted about, to be honest. I won't even say it's bang average. I'd say it's quite poor, really. But it seems like a very, very strange season, as I said. They're only 7 points off 4th place in Brighton, but they're only 2 points clear of Crystal Palace in 14th place. So it's just a very, very strange season. The tightest Premier League season I've ever seen on any foot manager, to be honest, that I know of course. Not great. 11th place in Newcastle, no matter the circumstances, is not great, is it? FA Cup as well, knocked down the third round by Middlesbrough, that's poor. And the Carabao Cup knocked down the second round by Leicester. So, yeah, Newcastle did not work really too well for them at all, to be honest. No sort of cup run whatsoever. Knocked out to Middlesbrough, one of their local rivals, which is shocking. And knocked out to Leicester as well, 11th in the league. So, yeah, obviously in real life they're chasing the Champions League place and just lost the League Cup final. So, not great for Newcastle, to tell you the truth. Not great at all. Let's check out the league table in full. They actually drew 1, lost 2 of their final 3 games as well. So if they would have won all 3 of those games, they could have finished in 4th in the league. So that shows how tight the season was. But anyway, they finished 11th in the league. If they finished 4th in this sort of season, it still wouldn't look that amazing due to the points tally. So a very, very strange season. Anyway, same with Harry Kane. Isak has been the second top goal scorer in the league again. No surprise. And no surprise guesses who won the top goal scorer Golden Boot. Erling Haaland. Who else? And Isak almost with half the goals. A little bit better than Harry Kane, although Haaland scored 9 less than the other simulation there. Anyway, let's check out the league table in full. Yeah, Newcastle with 15 wins, 8 draws and 15 losses. That's nothing to shout about, is it? 68 goals scored is quite nice. That's the third top goal scorers in the league after Man City and Liverpool. But 75 goals conceded. 75 goals conceded. That is absolutely shocking. Shocking defensive record. When you take into consideration as well, Newcastle got the best defence in the Premier League in real life. It's just absolutely terrible. And look at the teams they conceded to as well. 8 to West Ham, 8 to Leicester, and 7 to Southampton. What on earth has gone on there? Well, I'm interested to find out. Just shocking. Absolutely shocking. Let's check out their home record. The home record, well, abysmal. Home record was abysmal. 9 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses. Losing at home to the likes of Fulham, Villa, Southampton as well. Terrible. Away from home, things were a little bit better, but they won 6, drew 4, and lost 9 away from home, conceding 48 goals. They lost 6-0 away to West Ham. What on earth is going on? So not too great from Newcastle, to be honest. Let's check out the results here. How did they start off the new season? Well, they started off quite nice. They beat Leeds 5-1 at home in the first game of the season. Then they had Liverpool away and Man City at home. They got battered in those 2 games, 4-1 and 3-0. Did lose too often after that, though. Lots of draws. A bit similar to what they are in real life, but then look at that. The month of October was absolutely horrendous. Horrendous month for Newcastle, that. Lost away to Arsenal 4-2. Lost away to Man United 3-1. Lost at home to Southampton 3-2. Drew away to Bournemouth 2-2 and lost at home to Villa 1-0. So that was a horrendous month for October. They didn't manage to win the next 2 games for the World Cup, though, including beating Tottenham 4-0, so that was nice. They looked like they turned the corner just for the World Cup, just after the World Cup. 4 wins on the bounce, beating Everton and Fulham as well. But then again, January, poor. Lost away to Wolves. Got battered by Brentford 4-0. Look at that result there, though. Away to Leicester, they drew 5-5. 5-5 with Leicester. It's not very often you see a 5-5 game. Jamie Vardy with 4 goals in that game. Isak with 4 goals as well. So that was one hell of a game. And who got the man of the match in that game? No one knows. Unbelievable. They then had 2 losses in a row, which is disappointing, against Arsenal and Liverpool, both at home 2-1, so that's a bit poor. Beat Leeds 4-1 away, so they like playing Leeds. Then they lost at home to Fulham 4-2, away to Man City 4-0, away to Tottenham 4-1. Had a good month in April there. Lots of wins, including meeting Southampton 5-4 away from home. And then a poor end to the season. And they finished off the season, actually, with that 6-0 loss to West Ham. So they just not turn up in that game whatsoever. And West Ham finished the game with 10 men as well. Okay, albeit he got sent off with 2 minutes to go, but to lose 6-0 to West Ham is just absolutely shameful. So that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, they just beat West Ham 1-0 or something. They would have finished in 7th place. So that shows how fine the margins are. But yeah, all in all, it just wasn't a very successful season with Newcastle. They conceded lots of goals, and against the big teams, they really, really did struggle. So I don't think this tactic is suited for Newcastle, to be honest. Anyways, check out the players here. How did they get on? Not too good by the looks of it. Isak with a 7.2 average rating, 23 goals and 2 assists. And Joe Linton as well with 9 goals and 10 assists. Where did Joe Linton play then? Well, Joe Linton played in the centre of the park the entire season pretty much, apart from 1 game. And he really did flourish there. He had a great season along with Isak. Other than that, no one really impressed too much. Well, Joe Linton's partner, Guimaraes, did quite well as well, 6.96. Seemed like the midfield was quite good, to be honest. Joe Willock, when he came in, did quite well as well. What about the defence, though? Well, Fabian Schär had an absolute shocker of a season with 6.66. Botman as well with 6.71. Matt Target didn't do well at all. So you see where the problems lie with Newcastle. It was the defence, which is hard to say because in real life the defence is exceptional. So yeah, for Newcastle, was not great at all. The midfield did quite good, and Isak buried the goals as well. But other than that, nothing to shout about at all. Really disappointing. Anyway, let's check out the final team in the video here. Let's check out Everton. Okay, time for the final team of the video, and that is Everton. Of course, a team who are struggling massively in real life. Might get relegated. I don't think they will, though. I think Sean Dyche will keep him up. I think he's a very good manager, to be honest. But I wouldn't be too surprised if they get relegated. They're definitely in the mix, that is for sure. But looking at the team they've got, they probably should not be in a relegation battle, should they? They probably shouldn't be. They probably should be a safe mid-table club. But saying that, the team does not look amazing. But if they keep Calvert-Lewin fit, then they've definitely got a massive chance. If you can't keep Calvert-Lewin fit, then they're in whole heaps of trouble because Neil Maupay is clearly not good enough. So I do worry a bit about Everton. I don't think they get relegated though. What is success for Everton though? Well, I think a high mid-table finish for Everton would be quite successful. Top half finish would definitely be a success. But anyway, let's find out. We're going to go on holiday, use co-match tactics, and let's see how they get on. Unfortunately, it's actually quite disappointing. Everton have finished 8th in the league, so on the face of it, it looks quite good. But look at that. Look at their final 5 games of the season. 2 draws and 3 losses. They finished 1 point behind Bournemouth in 7th place and 3 points behind Chelsea in 6th place. So just one more win. Just one win out of those 5 games. They'll still be a poor run of form. Then they finished 6th in the league playing Europa League football. So that's really disappointing. But all in all, you say to Everton fans, if you take 8th place at the start of the season, I think they'd snatch your hands off for it. So in that regard, it looks quite successful, really. Only a -1 goal difference as well, so that's quite nice. But a bit similar to the last team there, Newcastle. It's not quite the same, but it's been a ridiculously tight season again. Look at the state of this. What on earth is going on with these simulation videos? It's ridiculous. Liverpool, by the way, finished top of the league with 102 points, as you do. Man United 83 and Man City 75, Tottenham 73. But look at the difference between Chelsea, 54 points. There's only 15 points between Chelsea in 6th and Palace in 18th. So again, a ridiculously tight season again. The fact that Everton had quite a poor run of form towards the end makes you think that they were closer to finishing in the top 7 than they were being in the mid-table relegation battle, as you see here as well. They were up to 4th at one point. You know, they're solidly in 6th and 7th place. Looked like it was almost guaranteed a European finish for the season. Then that poor run of form happened towards the end of the season. And they finished 8th on the final day. So that is really disappointing. But all in all, 8th place for Everton. Certainly take it. In terms of the FA Cup, knocked out in the quarter-final by Aston Villa, so definitely did better than Newcastle, that's for sure, and knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup by Man United. So their season is definitely much more successful than Newcastle's. Yeah, I'd say it's been quite successful, to be honest, similar to Tottenham. Nothing, you know, it's not a roaring success, nothing that's going to blow your mind, but Tottenham and Everton have done quite well on the face of it, really. Let's check out the league table in full here then. Well, this time round, no striker there, or no player in the top goal scorer, top 3 at least. No one in the list at all here, really, apart from Manana with 14 yellow cards. Not really something to shout about. Well, Everton with 15 wins, 6 draws and 17 losses. They scored 60 goals, which is pretty good. They conceded 61 goals, though, which is, well, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, but it's also not good. It's just bang average, really, so no, I'll take it. If I was Everton manager, football manager, I'd take it, to be honest. I'd take it. I'd be very annoyed the fact that we missed out on the European place on the final day, but 60 goals, 61 conceded, certainly something to build on, that is for sure. Let's check out their record at Goodison Park. 10 wins at home, 3 draws and 6 losses, but losing at home to teams such as Leeds, Brentford and Bournemouth 4-0. Lost at home to Bournemouth 4-0. What on earth is going on there? Away from home, lost 11 games away from home, considerably worse away from home, but that is to be expected. Let's check out their results then for Everton. Well, that's not right, is it? They started off the season with the Merseyside derby. Shouldn't really be starting off the season with Merseyside derby, really, should you? They lost that game 2-1 at home, so it's not a great start to the season for them. But also, well, it's easy saying those on the outside looking in, but nothing to be ashamed of. But I'm sure they're not very happy about it. They then drew away to Bournemouth 1-1. But after that, they won the next three league games in a row, beating Wolves, Southampton and Fulham. Then a poor September, though, losing 3 games in a row there to Leeds, Man United and Forest. And again, October was quite good. Beat Chelsea in there. Beat Brentford as well. Beat West Ham 4-1. And looking at it going towards the World Cup, it was quite good. They beat Tottenham 6-0 at home in the final game before the World Cup. 6-0. That's a sensational victory, that. Dwight McNeil with a brace and Calvert-Lewin with a hat-trick in that game. So what a win that is. What a booster before the World Cup. Very nice. After the World Cup, though, didn't start off too well. They got knocked out of the Carabao Cup 4th round to Man United and lost away to Palace. But then again, another great win. They beat Man City 3-1 at home, so that's sensational. They beat Nottingham Forest 6-2 at home as well. They beat Arsenal in the FA Cup 3rd round away from home. So some good results for Everton, looking really good. They lost away to Liverpool 5-1 in the league, which is not nice. They beat Palace away 4-0 in the FA Cup as well. But after they beat Palace 4-0 away in the FA Cup, they lost at home to Bournemouth 4-0 in the league. That's just a ridiculous result. Beat Chelsea 3-0 away. What on earth is going on with this season for Everton? Some sensational results and some really terrible results. Lost away to Arsenal 2-0, but that's nothing to be ashamed of. Then in March as well, they lost back-to-back games to the Manchester clubs, but again, nothing to be ashamed of. Then yeah, look at this terrible end to the season. They actually went 7 games without a win towards the end of the season, so Everton should have finished in the Europa League places, to be honest. Drew at home to Brighton, lost away to Leicester. None of those teams are considered a big club either, are they? You know, Brighton, Leicester, Brentford, Southampton, Wolves, Leeds and Fulham. You'd expect at least 2 wins from those games, wouldn't you? So that's a really disappointing end to the season. That's really annoying, actually. Everton should have finished, 6th in the league, I think it should have been. Yeah, Everton would have finished 6th in the league, wouldn't they? They couldn't catch Arsenal and nowhere near close to Tottenham, but we should be talking about Everton being in the Europa League right now. But as I said, all in all, we give them 8th for the start of the season. They would certainly take that. In terms of the players, Alex Iwobi, best player of the season, apparently, with 7.09 average rating, 11 goals and 7 assists. Was he playing centre midfield as well? I'm sure he was. Yeah, he was, so it seems like this tactic works very well with the centre midfielders in attack. Calvert-Lewin as well, 18 goals and 5 assists in 34 games. Nothing sensational, but when you look at it, it's over 1 and 2 in the season, so pretty good. Idrissa Gueye did quite well as well. Dwight McNeil with 13 goals and 12 assists. Weren't expecting that. But again, other than that, not really too great. And again, the centre-backs really struggling. Yerry Mina had a shocking time of it. Tarkowski as well. Terrible season from him. So centre-backs are struggling in this system. The centre midfielders doing really well, but I can't say I've been blown. My mind's been blown by this tactic, to be honest. Tottenham and Everton, quite good. Nothing to shout about, though. You know, just quite good. Definitely more towards the success than failure, but only just over the successful part, in my opinion, especially Tottenham. Newcastle, massive failure, though. So I guess, on average, this tactic has been quite successful over the 3 clubs. But again, nothing too sensational, but all in all, pretty decent. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. And also, if you're new around here, do consider hitting that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out. I'd be much appreciate as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.